Peace and love, fam. All right, so let's look at this definition, which is adverse claim, right? This is UCC 8-102. I'm reading from Cornell Law. Adverse claim means a claim that a claimant has a property interest in a financial asset. Remember, we went over financial asset in the previous video. And that it is a violation of the rights of the claimant for another person to hold, transfer, or deal with the financial asset. Now, let's look at notice of adverse claim. 8-105, notice of adverse claim. A person has notice of an adverse claim if the person knows of the adverse claim, the person is aware of facts sufficient to indicate that there is a significant probability that the adverse claim exists, and deliberately avoids information that would establish the existence of the adverse claim, or the person has a duty imposed by statute or regulation to investigate whether an adverse claim exists, and the investigation so required would establish the existence of the adverse claim. And when you look at B, having knowledge that a financial asset or interest therein is or has been transferred by a representative imposes no duty of inquiry into the rightfulness of a transaction and is not notice of an adverse claim. However, a person who knows that a representative has transferred a financial asset or interest therein in a transaction that is or whose proceeds are being used for the individual benefit of the representative or otherwise in breach of duty has notice of an adverse claim. This is why you always hear me speaking of giving notice in writing, because if you give notice, then they have no excuse for their actions. And an adverse claim exists once you give notice of the adverse claim. What is the adverse claim? Once again, a claim that a claimant has a property interest in a financial asset. Have you given notice that you have a interest in any financial assets? If so, an adverse claim has rise. Okay? Peace.